This conference will now be recorded.
All of our cases today, with the exception of plats and site plans, which are final, our decisions are final, will be forwarded on to the council for final approval. When we get to your particular case, after staff has presented the case to the commission, give you the opportunity to speak either for or against, and then so we can move forward. So we are going to go to item 4A, which will be the approval of the minutes from the June 23rd meeting.
Real quick, Charlie.
Beg pardon?
Real quick, if we can have everyone mute their phone or device if you're not speaking to an item, please go ahead and mute and then pull yourself off mute when you go ahead and speak. There's a lot of background noise right now from somebody, but if we can just have everyone mute when you're not speaking, that would be perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go. All right, so any comments, questions, errors, omissions to the meeting from June 23rd? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. The board will come to a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Spence. Is that Mike that seconded it?
It's Brett.
Okay, Brett, okay. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Item 5A.
I gotta try and mute somebody. Denison said it's caller 4. All right. When we get to public comments, I'll unmute them. All right, so this is item 5A. Receive a report, hold a discussion, conduct a public hearing, and make a recommendation on request to change the zoning of a parcel. ID number 151505, also known as 4801 South Highway 91, Denison, Texas, 75020, from light industrial to commercial. Case number 2020-53C. The applicant is requesting to rezone the property from light industrial to commercial. 2018 comprehensive plan shows this area to be developed as mixed commercial land with land use types. Staff recommends approval. The applicant is requesting to rezone this property in addition to moving forward with the next item, which is a conditional use permit for a food truck park. So these are two separate matters. However, I felt like it was important to do the rezone first, and then we can discuss the conditional use permit. So here's the property here. Some of you might know this as the old Calhoun's building. Here's the zoning of the subject property. As you can see, you have commercial and light industrial. So, you can kind of go either way. The applicant is wanting to make significant renovations to the property itself, to the parking lot, to the building, which gives us at least enough insight to want to move forward with this rezone. We reviewed several points of criteria on making our recommendation. I've also attached a survey of the property that shows the existing building. We recommend approval, and I'm present for any questions you may have. Real quick though, before we move on, I did receive 2 letters of opposition and 1 letter of support for the rezone and conditional use permits. The letters of opposition cite concerns over potential traffic, maybe potential injuries of people walking around, and also the sale of alcohol. Now, the sale of alcohol is going to be a component of the conditional use permit, which we can discuss here in a second on the next item, not the rezone. The letter of support is pretty general and just says that the person who owns property nearby thinks it could be good for the neighborhood or the area to have some more commercial businesses, as opposed to some of the, as you can see on this aerial here, a lot of the auto dealership, transmission shop, industrial type uses that are prominent in the area. the same letter.
Oh, it's the same one, okay.
It's the same letter, it's just different.
Oh, you just, okay.
Yeah, I think somebody filled it out for someone else.
Okay. Any questions of staff? No. Okay, is the applicant here to speak on this request?
Yes, this is Barry Reed.
Okay, could you give us your name and address for the record, please?
I'm sorry, you broke up on me again.
Your name and address for the record.
My name is Barry Reed, 1600 Norwood Street, Sherman, Texas, 75090.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anything you would like to address the commission and tell us today?
Yes, I mean, one thing I would like to express more than anything is we're not trying to open up a nightclub or anything. We're trying to open up a family-oriented food park where families can come and kind of enjoy themselves, kind of open up the place a little bit. My wife and I have known that as Calhouns years and years ago, and we've been driving back and forth and seeing it, abandoned like that. And we just come up with the idea. Our 17-year-old son is autistic, and we're calling it Jake's Place. We're building it for him. And so I just wanted the city to know that in no way, form, or fashion are we trying to put in any type of what the other establishments were in the past in this. We're really wanting to dress this up and make it a fun place for Denison to be at.
So, will there be sale of alcohol in the property?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're only going to do beer and wine and this other non-alcoholic beverages.
So on their conditional use permit, we'll dig into that, but right now they're proposing half alcohol, half food. They're not going to cook any food themselves. They're just going to have food trucks set up and kind of modify the site.
Basically, we're looking at kind of what we've got at the triangulator.
Yeah.
For the green growler, and then we have other sources of food.
I think that's a good point, except it's more outdoors. Triangulators has some small acoustic and live music. They're going to do a few shows, I think every week is what they're looking at. We have their hours of operation nailed down as well. I think it'll be done by.
We'll talk about that at the CUP.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Anything else you want to add, Mr. Reed?
We are going to be alternating food trucks, like Bill said. We don't have an indoor kitchen. The TBC has pretty much approved us already to be 50-50. And only thing, we're going to, every 7 days, we're going to alternate food trucks through the parking lot so everybody can kind of see, have a different appetite and everything. So it is indoor and it is outdoor. And so on the alcohol part, like I said, it's 50-50.
Right.
Or less.
We may have some additional questions and clarification when we get to the CUP case in just a minute. Any questions of the applicant from the commission?
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you.
All right. We have no comments or questions on the zoning case. Chair will entertain a motion.
I move to recommend approval of the ordinance to change the zoning of the subject property from light industrial to commercial pending final legal review.
A second. Okay. Have a motion with a second. All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Okay. Let's move to, item B. Yes.
And this is item B. Receive a report, hold a discussion, conduct a public hearing, make a recommendation on a request for approval for a conditional use permit for the use of a food truck park for Jake's Place, located on 4801 South Highway 91, Denison, Texas, case number 2020-52 CUP.
Okay.
The 2018 comprehensive plan shows this area to be developed as mixed commercial land use types. A conditional use permit is required for food truck parks located within a commercial zoning district. The reason for the previous zoning change as well was food truck parks just aren't permitted within light industrial. So being able to convert that to commercial and also get them the conditional use permit they needed, it is a couple of steps, but it's definitely something that the applicant was really helpful with. They're proposing a lot of changes to the site, which I'll go through, which we were impressed by. So just keep in mind that this conditional use permit approval will be contingent on the approval of the rezone being adopted by City Council on August 4th. We recommend approval. So we began working with the applicant in the spring to kind of go over their site plan and just initially meet with them to find a way to get their vision on paper. So here's the site plan, the final version. They're going to have some outdoor seating out front. They're going to have indoor seating as well. They are renovating the inside. They're adding a full fire suppression system as well to meet the fire code. They're going to be adding 3 bays for food trucks along the top, as you can see there. Back to the previous slide. They have more than adequate parking. They're going to be adding a new dumpster and dumpster enclosure as well. They've created 2 fire lanes that allow our fire services, other emergency services to properly access the site. As you can see along the Texoma Parkway side, they're proposing to do some landscaping with grass. One of the issues or concerns rather that staff had was trying to separate vehicular traffic from pedestrians. We wanted to make sure that if we're going to have people walking back and forth from getting food, potentially buying alcohol on site, we want to make sure that we can separate those two as best we can. The applicant's proposing to put in landscaping all along the front to break that up a little bit. And then there's a game area that is enclosed over here to the side, as well as some of that picnic tables and parking. We've also drawn out circulation for traffic to get in and out. So we have people basically over to the east, and all your traffic's going to be over to the west. Here's another image of the interior. We're going to be redoing the parking lot as well, restriping the fire lane. Hours of operation include Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. They're proposing to have some live entertainment, which will always end by 11:30 on weekends. We're also going to be adding screening to the southern side. You can see future wood pallet fencing. They want to do something a little more creative, not just your typical privacy fence or wrought iron fence or metal fence, or no chain link. They wanted to really make themselves stand out and build a rustic type look. So here's an example of something that they're wanting to go for. So you can see they have Riverstone on the bottom for pedestrians. They do have plans to add a fire pit or a few later on, pending, of course, fire marshal's approval to make sure that's something that we can work out. Here's another example of the type of look and feel that they're going for their patio and the interior around the parking lot. Yeah. So that being said, we've spent a lot of time on this project. We think it's in a good place. We recommend approval. I would also say that those other 2 letters, or those 3 letters, the 1 support, 2 opposition, they were written out for both the rezone and the CUP. So we got letters on this one too. And I'm present for any questions you may have, and we recommend approval. And the applicant is on the line.
Well, question for staff.
I've got a quick question. I'm just curious to know, well, it's going to take a while to put all this together, but this is just a generic question about how the food truck park would be inconvenienced if the bars are closed. Would that mean that they would be able to stay open with the food?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mary.
we've applied for food and beverage.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure I was clear. I was just thinking if, when the bars are not able to function because of COVID, the food park would be able to stay open with whatever restrictions were applicable at that time. Is that
Mary, I
correct?
believe
Yes,
it would
ma'am.
follow the same rules as the existing food truck park here downtown. And as Charlie pointed out previously, Josh Massey's tri-incubator down on Main.
Right.
I think one of the things we have to look at here, and I don't know, I mean, obviously we have a nightclub that has been there, been in existence. I'm assuming that if someone chose to go back in there and open a nightclub up again, they could, based on the zoning and everything that's in place at this time. So when I'm looking at this, especially after seeing the examples of what they're trying to achieve, I think it's a no-brainer, guys. Yes, I mean, I agree with that. I don't particularly want to see another nightclub developed right there. This is a pretty awesome, use, and the fact they're going to sell beer and wine, I can't deny them the opportunity to sell beer and wine along with their food any more than I could any other restaurant in the city on beer and wine with their food. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think this is a great use and very well done. I think, of course, the landscaping, man, the improvement right there at that intersection coming into the city from 691, this is going to be a real asset for us, I think.
If you don't mind, Charlie, I would like to commend the applicant for attempting or trying to move forward, especially during a time such as now, when there's so much uncertainty in the market.
Yes, absolutely.
And I just want to say thank you to the applicant and all of their resources and hard work they put into this, during something like what's going on right now.
I would second that because it's very
second
well done and very, I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing. Taking it upon yourself to come in and add landscaping, which most people don't want to even talk about doing that. It's just going to be a really nice facility. I'm very impressed.
Thank you very much.
Any questions of staff? Any questions of Mr. Reed?
No, sir.
Okay. Seeing none, then I will, is this public hearing?
Yes.
I'll close the public hearing and I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the request of a conditional use permit for the subject property pending final approval of the rezone from light industrial commercial zoning district.
Second.
Who seconded it, Mary or Susan?
Mary.
Mary, okay. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
The opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Okay, that's it for us today, guys. Staff doesn't have any comments or anything on any updates or anything?
No, from our last meeting, we discussed, what was it? The TND and kind of adding some, or trying to find a way to require changing up the elevations of the sidewalk blocks. I'm working with Judd on that right now.
Okay.
They also attended the builders meeting, which I believe you were
Yeah,
at, Charlie. So we're working on some stuff, kind of get our bearings before we put something in paper.
We have a meeting, 2 weeks.
28.
Stay tuned. I'm not sure if I have anything on the agenda yet.
Okay.
I haven't noticed anything.
Like,
in the paper. Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we may or may not be meeting on the 28th. Okay, all right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
We adjourn.
Okay, I have a motion by Spence, second by Susan.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none. We stand adjourned at 10:25 a.m.
I think Mr. Reed's got some customers.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bye-bye.
Hi,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Yeah, we're-
That right there, I've been to a few of those.